Hello, hello. Howdy. Alright, so let's get the game. First off, turn on the desktop audio so that you can actually hear the game. I hope you didn't hear me adjusting my mic there. Alright. We're still in the middle of the Christmas case. So let's come on. December 26th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Right, she got arrested last time. I forgot. Maya! Hey, Nick, it's you! I'm glad Mr. Edgeworth made it through a day okay. It's a relief. Hey, why'd you do that anyway? I don't know. I just knew I had to do something. I know I'm not the lawyer my sister was. I'm sorry. Well, you did save the trial. Just behave from now on, okay? Oh, okay. Let's talk. Questioning. Have you been questioned yet? No, not yet. Detective Gumshoe was here just now. He said, seeing as this is your first offense, we'll just let you go after questioning. Whew. Oh, and he wanted me to get bail money ready. You can pay for me, okay? Huh? How much? I don't know. I guess they'll send you a bill or something. Why do I picture giant bales of money every time I hear the word bail? Any luck with Mia? None. I can't get through to her at all. I tried, I really did. I don't know what to do. I think I probably shouldn't have stopped my training. She sounds like she really did do her best. I should check and see if there are any waterfalls in the local area. I wonder if I'll ever see my sister again. I don't think I have anything to present with you. So, let's move. Oh, okay. So this is the correct place. I was just gonna go run down the line, so... Sure is quiet here with nobody around. Right. I have to get Maya out of that detention cell soon. Probably go here, then. December 26th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. Detective Gumshoe's not here. Gumshoe's at the scene again today. Huh? Oh, really? He's a live wire, that one. Got into a fight with the chief for not following protocol. Not following protocol? I bet he wouldn't help them build the case against Edgeworth. Ford Lake Park entrance. There are fewer than there were yesterday, but the cops are still around in the park. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe is here today. Haven't seen Larry around today at all. Probably off paying through the nose on a date with the lovely Kiance. There we go. Boat rental shop. Looks like the boat rental shop is closed today, too. Okay, no. Entrance. The woods. December 26th, Gourd Lake Woods. Hey, there he is. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Hey, pal. That's not the voice. The trial today, Yes, what about the trial? Well, I was going to say good show, but it wasn't really all that. Though you did save Mr. Edgeworth, I guess. I just wasn't sure how to thank you, you know? Thanks. Let's talk. Detective Gumshoe, any idea what strategy Von Karma is planning for tomorrow? It sounds like he's bringing in another witness. Another witness? Oh, right, he said something about that in the trial today. There were 2 witnesses. He did say that. He did say that, and we did know that. We did know that there were 2 witnesses, and one of them, like, backed out, because a lot of heart was speaking. I was wondering who that other witness was. Or, who was it? Sorry, pal. As much as I'd like to, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Right. Oh, right, I wanted to ask you something about Edgeworth. What's up? Is he afraid of earthquakes? I never heard anything about that before. Mr. Edgeworth doesn't talk about himself too much, see? But there's one thing that's clear as day. Him hating crime the way he does, and him becoming a prosecutor, and him being scared of earthquakes. It's all started with that incident. The DL6 incident. Yep, that's the one. 15 years ago, when he saw his father shot before his very eyes. He still feels the pain now, you can see it in his eyes. Damn. I wanted to talk to you about Maya Fey. She's not out on bail yet. That's strange. I told them to let her go as soon as they had their report written up. Man, I don't know what would have happened in that courtroom today if it weren't for her. Seeing her getting dragged out by the bailiff. I'll be honest with you, pal. I shed a tear or two. Mr. Edgeworth, he was so moved I saw his lip trembling. Really? Cold as ice Edgeworth? He was really grateful for what she did, you know? I'm going to head back to the station. I'll get the report on Maya and get her out of there as soon as I can. Thank you. Oh, wait. I was wondering, how much is bail going to be? Don't worry about that. Mr. Edgeworth is posting the whole amount. What? Edgeworth? Didn't I tell you? He's grateful to her for what she did. Alright, pal. Well, don't forget to go pick her up, okay? Maybe I can get Edgeworth to pay this month's rent, too. Alright, let's go pick her up, then. Entrance. And then... Detention Center. Detention Center. Visitor's room. Hey, Nick, you finally came. You just finished the paperwork. I'm free to go. Free at last, eh? Those interrogators were really mean. They were like, okay, what did you do this time? Like I was some kind of criminal. Can you believe it? Well, they let you out in the end, didn't they? Oh, that reminds me. Thanks for the bail. Thank Edgeworth. Huh? He posted bail for you. Said he was grateful for what you did. Mr. Edgeworth did that? I have to make it up to him. We've got to win this case, Nick. What to do? What do you think we should do next? We're kind of lacking in the clues department. We could go to the park and look for Gordy. I was kidding. Still, if there are any clues out there, the park's as good a bet as any. What do you say? Shall we head down there? Sure. Have you noticed anything lately? You know, I did notice one thing while I was here in detention. It's really pretty comfortable here. It's warm, and they keep it very clean. I meant, have you noticed anything about the case? Well, not much more than that, no. She's probably still upset about Mia. I should leave her alone. Alright, so we're going back to the park now. Gourd Lake Park entrance. There aren't many cops around today, are there? They're probably back at the precinct working up the case against Edgeworth. Oh no. I didn't think she was gonna be speaking. Hey, y'all! Hey, it's Letta! Y'all really did it today. What did we do now? Nah, I'm not complaining. See, I did a little thinking, a little self-reflection, you might say. I realized that being a witness is a mighty big responsibility. But I just went up there and started blabbing any old thing that came to mind. Lotta. So you see, I want to make it up to y'all. Make it up? Today's trial. What did you think of the trial? To be honest, I was doing it half just to say I'd been a witness. Even though I didn't really see anything. I kinda convinced myself I had, though. I'm sorry, I know I caused y'all a lot of trouble. Well, memory is a tricky, vague little thing. Yeah, I sure know that now. I'll be fine the next time I witness a murder. Right. You mean the first time you witness a murder? God. What about Gordy? Right. Well, the way I figure, the trial's only stoking the flames of Gordy's fever. I'll get my exclusive photos and rocket to stardom. Alright, Lada, you go, girl. I wish I could be an investigative photographer, too. Finish your spirit medium training first. Lada, what do you mean by making it up to us? Well, you see, actually, I got a bit of information for you. What? That Von Karma didn't want me to say nothing about it. What information? Now we're getting to the heart of it. You see, I reckon we might be able to do ourselves a little exchange. Exchange? I thought this was to make it up to us. Right. I propose a little exchange to make it up to you. What? Information don't come cheap, my friend. I don't know how to do her voice. Whatever, I don't care. I don't care. Hey. I see you thinking, my, how unsophisticated these southern folks are. It's written all over your face. Let me tell you, most southerners are way more sophisticated than you. I'm just the exception, okay? Well, what'll it be? We gonna deal or not? So, are you just admittedly calling yourself... What do we do, Nick? Sure. We don't have any other leads, so I don't think we have a choice here. Okay, how much? Huh? You completely off your rocker? I may not be sophisticated, but I'm not trying to rob the poor. Huh? The only fair exchange for information is information. Listen good. What I need from you is information about Gordy. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Gordy? But Gordy doesn't... I mean, Gordy might not exist. Then bring me proof that he shows he don't. Hello? Howdy. I'll be keeping watch from the car, okay? You see something, y'all come to me first, got it? Oh, okay. Right, see y'all later. Okay, Nick, let's get hunting. Hunting? You don't seriously mean... Gordy, I sure do. What about Edgeworth? We're searching for Gordy for him, Nick. Don't you get it? Okay, and how exactly do we search for a make-believe monster? Avoid day 2 of the investigation. Yep, day 2. Maybe we can find a monster myth specialist? That's new. What's that? The Steel Samurai, Nick! Yo, Maya! Larry, what the heck is that? Oh, it was my girl Kiance's idea. She was all, if you, like, put this here, it would be, like, really cool. Dude, she gave it to me along with the banner. Wow. That's real impressive she could find those for you. Well, she knows a lot of people. And that show's finished now, so she got him for free. Right. Yo, Nick! What happened with Edgy? Well, we made it through the first day in court, alright. I don't know how good our prospects are from here on, though. Huh? Hey, Larry, did you know Mr. Edgeworth's secret weakness? He's terrified of earthquakes. He acts like a little boy. Huh? That's weird. I don't think he was ever like that in school. No? Really? Well, we were only in the same class for a little bit. He transferred schools pretty quickly. Transferred? Right, when the Deal 6 incident happened. It doesn't look like Larry knows about it, though. Hey, Larry. Where did you get that big thing? Oh, the big guy! I've had that for about a month, yeah. It's a big hit with the kids. Why wasn't it there yesterday? Huh? Oh, right. The compressor was busted. Compressor? Yeah, it's that little unit by my hot dog stand. That's what I used to put air in the Steel Samurai. It broke a little while ago, so I sent it in for repairs. Oh. Here I thought you'd inflated it by yourself. I see. Did I present him with something? Probably not. I don't think any of this would be. Yeah. I guess we move. Boat rental shop, maybe over there. I feel like there's gotta be something at this boat rental shop eventually. It's always so quiet here. I wonder if the boat shop is closed for good. Well, with the murder on the lake and all, they're probably just taking a vacation till it blows over. I get it. Oh, the boat rental. Is there anything to investigate here? Let's just look around. A small boat rental shop. Doesn't look like anyone is around. They're probably close because of the murder. There are some boats floating at the dock. The murder took place in a boat from this dock. Apparently the police took away the actual boat that was used that night. Indeed, there's space for one more boat at the dock. There's more forest off that way. I doubt I'd find any helpful clues in there. God, the fucking, every time I see him, like, dead-faced, it's just so fucking weird. Funny. He's got the fucking, that was mad funny, bro, face. Hey, y'all. Well, will y'all find anything out about Gordy? No, nothing. Well, keep moving. It gets cold out here at nighttime. It is a little chilly. I think I have to sneeze. Whoa, whoa, no you don't. No sneezing. Achoo! I told y'all, no sneezing. See, I set the camera to respond to things a little softer than a bang. It'd trigger on one of Karma's finger snaps now. Oh, so that is snapping. It didn't look like he was snapping. I thought he was just doing the weird hand motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, sorry's nice, but what about my film? Nick, pay the lady. I learned something in today's trial, that's for sure. Testifying is serious business. That's why I decided not to talk about that case anymore. Huh? Whoa, didn't you say you had information about the case? Tell us that at least. Like I said, I'll trade it for the dirt on Gordy. Yeah, I mean, how loud are finger snaps usually? That, I don't know if you even heard it. That was me snapping, though. What are you going to do if Gordy doesn't exist? I'll quit being an investigative photographer. What? After all, I only have one photo to my name so far. Was it a good one? You bet, a UFO. A UFO? Anyway, if I can get a career-making photo this time around, then that's it. I'll quit and go back to school. Huh? So you really are a university student? Yeah, well, I'm taking a break for a bit. Yeah, she means a UFO. Right. Gordy. What are you going to do if Gordy doesn't exist? Okay, wait, it's the same thing? Okay, okay. I guess we have to use that line when we find out about Gordy. Let's move. Excuse me. Is there anything more here? Nope. Okay, move. Maybe is there anything to examine here? Sometimes we do have to examine. That Steel Samurai look a little out of place. I mean, it's so huge. I guess it's good advertising. Something about this Steel Samurai just doesn't work for me. Huh? Really? Looks pretty well made to me. I'm still a novice, aren't you, Nick? Really? The true connoisseurs like Cody and me don't fall for this kind of stuff. These Steel Samurai fans are obviously in a league of their own. What's this machine? That's a compressor. I use it to fill up that balloon there with air. I don't know what voice to do for him. You can tell I'm just kind of whiffing his lines. Huh, neat. Just got it repaired yesterday. Man, what a drag that was. The trash can is empty. At least the place is well maintained. Sorry, I meant to tap on the... Wow, Gourd Lake is really big. Yeah. Say, Nick, why is it called Gourd... Oh, I've had this conversation. Didn't you give him a New Yorker voice, or is that Gumshoe? That was Gumshoe originally, but I couldn't figure out how to do it again, so I started trying to go for, like, the fucking... Is Patrick Warburton his name? I was trying to go for that after the fact, because I didn't know how to do it. And now I think I've ended up forgetting how to do that one, too. So, it's just whatever happens. The voices are just whatever happens. I can't get over the samurai dogs. The original samurai dogs, no less. Hey man, whoever calls their product the original first wins. Why don't you add world famous to the sign? Hey, good idea! What have I done? Those flags look sadly out of place here. Flapping listlessly back and forth in a cold wind under a cold sky. I don't know, I think it gives the place a kind of festival atmosphere. It reminds me of the War of the Eyeglasses. The War of the what? Huh? What? You mean you don't know the War of the Eyeglasses? What the heck is that? It's me whenever I can't find my glasses. Our local fair used to do it every summer. Huh, I guess we were the only ones. Hold on. I think my heater was on. What flag is that on the second left? My guess is maybe it's supposed to be Germany, but it's not colored in entirely. I feel like considering the, like, flags presented, it would make, that we see so far, it would make the most sense. Our local fair used to do it every summer, huh? I guess we were the only ones. I ask again, what the heck is it? So, I'm assuming this is America, I'm assuming that's Germany, that's, Japan. That's Brazil? I'm forgetting what the Brazilian flag looks like. I don't know flags very well. I assume this is supposed to be Dutch. Or a sideways French. I don't know what the fuck this one is, or this one. These two, I don't know. And then Korea... Yeah... And then Australia. My man don't know Brazil, damn. Go to Brazil? Yeah, we'll go to Brazil to find out what the Brazilian flag looks like. It's too bad there's no way to search it up. Hey Nick, benches! Let's take a break. Maybe have a hot dog? I think not. It's too cold to sit and eat hot dogs out here. Wimpy city boy. You should try standing under a freezing waterfall sometime. I guess we'll go back to the entrance. Let's see, where to next? Ah, fresh air! I gotta say, freedom feels great. Behave yourself in the courtroom tomorrow, okay? Heh misbehaving's much more fun. It's not going to be so much fun when Edgeworth refuses to pay your bail again. Right, I'll behave. Oh dear. What to do? Well, what should we do? I don't know. I've been in detention this whole time. I think I'll let you decide what we should do, deal? Okay, any ideas? Well, any thoughts you want to share? Well, I was in detention all day. I think I'd like more time to think. Poor Maya, she probably thought about Mia the whole time she was in there. Police Department, Criminal Affairs. Hey there, pal. What's up, you look out of sorts? Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Wait, you didn't go and do something that's going to hurt Mr. Edgeworth's case again. What do you mean again? Whatever, have a seat, pal. I'm here for you if you need anything. Besides money, that is. Hello. How was the investigation proceeding? It's not really. We have another meeting coming up. We're supposed to talk about Mr. Edgeworth's motive. His motive? See, Mr. Edgeworth's father died in the DL6 incident. And the guy who got the loan, suspect declared innocent, was the victim in this case. Robert Hammond. They're saying that's why Mr. Edgeworth shot him. And Edgeworth never talks about his past. I bet they'll drag that out and hit him with it in court tomorrow, too. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I gotta admit, it doesn't look good, pal. Say, Detective Gumshoe, do you know Gordy? The monster down in Gourd Lake? Not personally, no. Well, we're looking for it. Are you out of your minds? Eek! You got time to go wild monster hunting. How about doing a little questioning for me, then? Oh. Detective Gumshoe is scaring me, Nick. I told Detective Gumshoe about the deal with Lada. Nick, try telling him sooner next time. Not personally, yeah. Sorry. I see, pal. Sorry for shouting at you. Okay. I, Detective Gumshoe, will aid your search for Gordy. Huh? I gotta say, the, like, starting riff of this song sounds a lot like the fucking start of, I think, Live and Learn from Sonic, from Sonic Adventures 2. I'll loan you one of our newest secret weapons for finding evidence. Really? You can take whichever one you like. Okay, give us the goods. Hold on now, everything in due time. First, let me show them to you. These are our best and brightest. So you're saying there's the Sonic OST in this game? I mean, I don't know if it would really be the exact same, but... Introducing secret weapon number 1. Missile. Missile? He's a K9 police dog, still in training. Missile, here boy. Oh my god. Woof. Here he is. Hey, he's cute. Look, Nick, cute dog. A cute dog. And this will help us how? Woof. Next secret weapon number 2. A fishing pole. Here, this is my own personal pole. Detective Gumshoe, we're looking for a monster. Yeah. How are we supposed to catch a whole sea monster with a fishing pole? Actually, it's a lake monster. Shu Takumi really loves his dog, huh? Is that the creator's dog? Is that the creator's, like, actual dog? Never know till you try, pal. Oh my god, it's the actual dog. Okay, this next one is the last one. No, please, I'm already overwhelmed by our choices. Secret weapon number 3, a metal detector. Here. Detective Gumshoe, we're looking for something alive. Right. How are we supposed to find it with a metal detector? Hey, you never know, it might have been eating soda cans. So, soda, yeah. It's a Pomeranian, though. This time he just borrows the name. Well, which will it be? I can't make up my mind, Nick. They all seem so perfect. I can't make up my mind either, for the totally opposite reason. Oh, well, I suppose it can't hurt to borrow one of them. I think the fishing pole seems to like the... This is the man who created a Vocaloid song about his dog. I see. I think the fishing pole sounds like a good option. We might be able to fish something up out of the lake. Oh, fuck, that's the wrong... I didn't think it would automatically... I thought... Okay, well, I clicked the wrong option. Sure thing, pal. I'm not sure what we're going to find with this. Remember, you're monster hunting. Anything is possible. Anything. Can I have the other... Can we borrow one of the other things? Yeah, sure, pal. But I have to take back the last one I lent you. Department policy. We'll take your pick. Which will it be? Oh, okay, hold on. I'll just take this again. Can you borrow that metal detector? Sure thing, pal. I'm not sure what we're... I'll just go... I'll go test out the metal detector first. I'll go test the metal detector out first. I don't think the entrance is really gonna have anything, so maybe... Public beach. Oh! The metal detector's beeping. Nick! It's beeping! The metal detector found something! Sure is loud enough about it. Whatever it is, it must be in those bushes. Go check it out, Maya. Why do I have to check it out? Nick! Look! Huh? An air tank? Huh. The valve looks broken. I thought it was Gordy. Maya, first of all, why would Gordy be in the bushes? And second of all, why would a metal detector react to a sea monster? Oh. Huh? Something wrapped around this air tank. Looks like a string of flags? Well, we might as well take it with us now that we found it. It's heavy. Hey, I have a question. You know these flags? What? An air tank? What about it? Larry, I wanted to ask you about this tank. Have you seen it before? Have you seen this before? Me? Nah. No, never. The heck would go diving in the middle of the winter? There's something about the way his eye twitched when I showed him the tank. I think I'd better pursue this line of questioning a little further. What? An air tank? What about it? Larry, is it yours? Say, is this air tank yours? Why would I have a thing like that? Look, see how there's a string of flags around the tank valve? It's just like the string of flags around your Steel Samurai there. It must be a coincidence. There's strings of flags everywhere these days. Like elementary schools. And used cars dealerships. Look, why would I need a tank anyway? You used this to go diving in the lake, didn't you? What? Why the heck would I go diving in the lake? Wait, you're not saying I had something to do with that murder? No, not at all, just... Hey, you watch it, buddy, I'm not saying anything until my lawyer gets here. Larry, Nick is your lawyer. Well, Larry, she's right. Bah! Anyway, I never seen that air tank, okay? Yeah, right. Larry's hiding something, I can tell. Is he pretending to be... is it yours? To inflate something? You used this to inflate that, didn't you? Inflate what? What else? That big puffy Steel Samurai. Now why would you go asking me a question like that? Looks like I hit the nail on the head. Right. Actually, see, the compressor I always use is on the fritz. So I tried using the tank to inflate it just once, and it didn't go so well, as I suspected. It didn't go so well. Yeah. Do you think you could be a little more specific? Come on! Look, it's embarrassing, so I really don't want to talk about it. Tell us! Fine. Whatever, it's like what I said, the compressor was busted. So I took the tank and tried to fill the samurai up with that. And then... blam! The valve busted open and made this incredible noise. And that tank there took off like a rocket. Okay, so that explains the bang. That explains the first bang. And it took my poor deflated steel samurai with it. What? Off into Gourd Lake? It sure scared me out of my gourd, that's for sure. Maya's like, embarrassing story, eye emoji, yeah. So the tank and the steel samurai you were trying to fill up flew away. What happened next? Well, all that happened on the 20th or so. The 20th, a week ago. As far as I could see, the tank went flying out into the lake. So I went out every night in a boat looking for it. I mean, Kianse gave me that steel samurai after all. And when did you find it? Just the night before last. It flew way out there. It took me 4 whole days to find it. The night before last was the night of the murder. Sorry for not telling you, Nick. Actually, I was here on the night of the murder. But you see, I went home before midnight. So you didn't know about what happened? Nah. That's too bad. It's not all bad. We've solved one mystery at least. A mystery? Maybe we should go tell her. So, yeah, that was kind of my guess, that Gordy was probably the thing. What's... Well, time to drag him to trial? Oops, that's not what I meant. Well, Mr. Lawyer? I've got the info y'all need. Y'all got the scoop on Gordy for me yet? Gordy doesn't exist. Light up. There is no such thing as Gordy. Well, what? How can y'all be so sure? Really, Nick? Y'all got some proof Gordy don't exist? The proof that Gordy doesn't exist is here? Of course I have proof. No lawyer worth his badge would make a claim without the proof to back it up. Here's the proof that Gordy doesn't exist. Is it this? Take that! Larry's air tank? What are y'all doing with an air tank? This is Gordy. Excuse me? What exactly are you saying, Nick? There's a stand near here, a hot dog stand. There's a giant inflatable samurai doll there. About a week ago, an idiot who happens to be a friend of mine tried to fill it. He used his air tank, and when the valve blew, the tank flew into the lake. Apparently it made a pretty loud bang when it flew. A bang? The tank, along with the still deflated samurai, fell into the lake. God, this fucking game. At the same time, a couple was taking a photograph of the lake. This photo. Wait, so you're saying that Gordy is really the Steel Samurai? Ugh. Well, that's a fine way to ruin a gal's dreams. I'm sorry, Lotta. Nah, it's okay, you win. I'll give you your info like I promised. Poor Lotta. So, tell us this information you have. A promise is a promise, I guess. I overheard the cops around here saying something about the witness tomorrow. They said he's the caretaker of the boat rental place up the path here. Boat rental? There's someone there? I mean, it looks so deserted. Just an old guy living all by himself. Y'all should go check it out. Thanks, Lida, we will. Let's get cracking, Nick. Hold on. Something else? Yeah, an out of the murder. My camera clicked twice, you know. Yeah, it did. Wait, so you have another photo? Well, yeah, but there's nothing in it at all, just the lake. I figured it wouldn't be much use as evidence, so I kept it to myself. Well, it might not be helpful at all, but here, take it. Bye now. Y'all take care. Time for me to pack up and leave. Rip. Poor Lada. It's all Larry's fault. The legend still lives on, I guess. The legend? Yeah, the legend of Larry, familiar to all who know him for any length of time. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Someone should whip that butts into shape. Yeah! Sorry, every time I see the fucking dead expression. Number 26, boat rental shop. Hey Nick, this is the boat shop that Lida was talking about. You're right. Doesn't seem to be anyone around at all. Well, let's go check it out anyway. First of all, I want to check out the, smelly man, yeah. I want to check out this photo. Can I see it? Or... no. Okay, shows an empty lake. At 11:50. So that one's taken at 11:50. This one's taken at 12:15. That's quite a bit of time in between. Caretaker's shack. Parrot. December 26th, caretaker's shack. Oh. Meg, that you? Eek! Hey, is that Keith with you? Where have you two been? I've been worried sick. Nick, you handle this. I think I'll leave this one up to you, Maya. Meg. Yes? Finally made up your mind, have you? My mind? You'll run the pasta shop when I'm gone. Pasta? Glad to hear it, glad to hear it. You make your old man proud. When you kids left the house, I didn't know what to think. How am I supposed to keep this place running, an old man like me? Polly, the kids are home. Hello, hello, Squawk. Nick, what was that? A parrot, the one on that perch. Keith! Yes. I'll leave the wet noodle in your capable hands, Sonny. Nick, what's the wet noodle? Based on the available evidence, I'd say it's the name of his pasta shop. That's a relief, isn't it, Polly? Hello, hello, Squawk. Hey, yep. He fell asleep. I guess he's relieved. That's my sleep noise. A pasta shop. Yep, to think the wet noodle will live on when I'm gone. My father started it, you know, so that makes you two the third generation. Meg. Yes. Tomorrow we'll start with the secrets of dough tossing. Dough tossing? You too, Keith. Yes. You'll be the best pasta wrangler the West has ever seen. But pasta wrangler? The West? Is it pasta from Italy? Meg! Yes. You know the best pasta's always been made west of the Rockies, don't you? Right, of course, everybody knows that. Nick? Huh? How long do we have to keep this all in the family, how long do we have to keep up this all in the family charade? This old man must know something about the murder. We're not leaving until we find out what that is. The boat rental ship. This is a boat rental shop, right?
What are you talking about? This here's the Palace of Pasta, the wet noodle. No, now that you mention it, we haven't gotten many orders for spaghetti lately. All the kids come up and say, "Yo, dude, we wanna ride on one of your boats." That's why I keep them boats out there. Youngsters these days, darned if I understand them.
I'm pretty confused myself. Wow, Italians are gonna come for this man's ass, yeah. Nick, this isn't going anywhere. Hold on, let me take a drink real quick. Drink bake. Hee. But this old man is the witness tomorrow, right? We've got to find some way of getting information out of him. Maybe let's examine the area. Looks like a kitchen unit. It's pretty clean. Funny he doesn't look like the type who'd keep his things tidy like that. You're forgetting, Nick. He's running a pasta shop here. Wow, what an amazing parrot that is. Good morning. Hello? It ignored me.
What? You forget Meg? You forgot Meg, you gotta call her name first.
Her name?
Polly, how you been?
Hello, hello. Squawk. Burb.
See?
Neat, so the parrot's name is Polly. Parrot? The parrot, okay. Too bad all she can say is hello.
Arr, old Polly can say lots of things. You just need to know the secret words.
The secret words? Polly, Polly, what's your name?
Polly? Squawk?
I hate Twitch emoji. Yeah, same. The Twitch emojis look so fucking... Like, the fucking Twitch smiling emoji just looks like a fucking shifty looking face. It's like the same vibes as the shifty dark moon emoji. Hehe, cute. Maya has found a new friend. Wow, there are lots of fairies fishing Gourd Lake, aren't there? Something's funny, Nick. All these fish are saltwater fish. Look, Nick, he has an electric blanket on his table. It looks warm. That's a great idea. We should do that at the office. Ah, you see, a kotatsu. We can sit down with our clients, snug and warm, and drink hot cocoa. And what, talk about murders? Oh, you're a party pooper, Nick. Fishing rod. This fishing pole looks expensive. TV. Wow, he has a television in here, too. What's this on top? Look, a little safe. It's locked. Are you gonna steal out of it? I don't think there's anything else, so there's gotta be something. Do we have something? Present.
Now listen here, Keith. Remember that tricolored pasta we were talking about? Our rainbow-lioli? I figured out the last color we should use. Indigo blue.
Indigo blue? That didn't seem to work in the way I thought it might. Maybe this? I gotta say, this is a pretty inconvenient place to put a, This is a pretty inconvenient place to put a fucking pasta shop.
Now listen here, Keith. Remember that?
Okay, yeah, it's the same thing. Gotta find something, I guess. I guess not here, maybe somewhere else. shop. I mean, it's just not a very good spot to put a pasta shop. That's not where I meant to go. Detention center. Oh, hey. Here we go. Looks like Edgeworth isn't questioning. Let's come back later. Guess so. Criminal Affairs Department. Police Department. Criminal Affairs. Detective Gumshoe is in here. Now that you mention it, didn't he say he had a meeting to go to? Ah, that's right. Let's come back later. Grossberg Law Offices. Apparently Mr. Grossberg is on vacation today. Well, I guess I can come back tomorrow if I need anything. Okay. Guess we're going back to Gourd Lake. Move. Boat rental shop, and then go back inside. I guess there's something we have to... There's gotta be something we've got. This maybe? I'm just... Honestly, there's no, like... Yeah... I think I'm just gonna keep showing him stuff until one of them works. Maybe the surroundings again. I can hear. Or maybe if we go back out. Examine. Nothing out here. Maybe if we go back in. Something in here, maybe. Doesn't seem like there's anything else I can click on. Shows an empty... Let's see, is there anything I can use here? Oh, hey, okay. Okay, there's another option.
My memory's gotten worse of late. That's why I sell everything important to old Polly here.
Everything important? I wonder. Polly, what's the number to the safe?
1228. Squawk! Alright. Hey, Polly, watch it, will ya?
See, Nick, all it takes is a little clever thinking. And a criminal mind. Quick, Nick, write that number down. Hey, don't get me involved in your little heist schemes. Is there anything more? I guess we'll... Maybe that was the one thing I need to do, and maybe now I can go see, like, Edgeworth or something. Nope. Nope. Let's maybe over here. Have you given him everything? No. Let's go do that. Let's go do that. Boat rental shop. Move. Go inside. Present. Let's just keep giving. Let's just go through everything.
That's the lawyer's badge.
Yes, it is. I don't believe it. This old guy is the first person to recognize my badge.
I get it.
Huh?
Yep. I got you figured out now. You're not Keith.
Nick? Now's our chance to clear things up. Sir. No, I'm not Keith. And I'm not Meg either. We're here investigating a murder that took place in this lake the other night. Please help us.
A lawyer, huh?
Please, mister.
Alright, I'll help. But on one condition.
What's that?
When this case is over and done, you'll run the wet noodle.
We can't promise that. I can't make that promise.
Is that any way to treat your old man? Bah, you want my help? You've come to the wrong man.
Uh-oh. Now he's grumpy. Not to mention she still thinks we're his kids. Maybe we should just lie and say we'll run the shop. Okay, we promise. Nick, are you sure about this? Hey, anything to get this case solved. Also, who wouldn't want to eat Phoenix noodles? I guess so.
That's my boy. Good for you, Keith.
Oh, wait, didn't I just say?
You too, Meg.
Yes.
Hey, you bring a tear to your old man's eye, you know? Now, what was that you wanted to know? Speak up, Polly.
Hello, Squawk. Now he's talking to the bird again. How do we get him to talk to us?
You won't be needing that badge to run a pasta shop. Toss it.
I think I'll hold on to it if you don't mind. Do we, maybe... Nope, okay. Present, He fell asleep. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going through. I'm just gonna go through everything.
Yep, I've seen this.
You know something about this, sir?
Keith.
Yes.
It's okay, you can call me Dad.
Dad, you know something about this?
Yep, the other night, out on the lake.
Yes.
I know all about that, I seen it.
What? Tell us what you saw.
Well, I suppose, since you're taking over the shop and all. I forget the time, but it was pretty dark outside. Probably nighty, yep.
It was after midnight, but okay.
Then I heard this bang, so I looked outside. Then I heard another one bang. A little while later, this boat comes back. Then a young man walked by my window here. He was muttering something to himself, yep.
What did he say?
Yep. I forgot. I'll remember tomorrow by court time, I promise.
You need to know earlier than that.
You know what? Little Terry was just here.
Terry?
Yep, that kid next door. You always used to make him cry, remember? He was wearing this tattered old coat. Got himself some whiskers growing out his face.
You must be talking about Detective Gumshoe.
He comes up and tells me to come down to court tomorrow.
Really? Somehow I don't think we're going to get much useful information from this guy. Maya, maybe we should be leaving. I think you're right. Oh, wait, I had one more question. Huh? Polly, have we forgotten something?
Squawk? Don't forget DL6. Squawk?
Huh? What did she just say, Nick? One more time, Polly.
Don't forget DL6. Squawk?
What? The DL6 incident? Hey, mister, I mean dad. This is getting weird. Who is this old guy? Why would that bird Polly know about DL6? We have to figure out who that old man is. Oh! What? He locked the door from the other side! Who could that old man be? I think I need to do a little more research on this DL6 incident. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe. Ooh. Sorry. It just surprises me every time. Police Department, Criminal Affairs. Hey pal, look that long time no see. You don't look so happy. What's wrong this time? Actually, we wanted to ask you something. Yeah? The boat caretaker. You know the boat rental shop down at Gourd Lake? Oh yeah. The old man who runs it is appearing as a witness in court tomorrow, right? Huh? How'd you... that was supposed to be top secret. Do you know who that old man is, Detective? Actually, I don't. He's a bit of an odd bird. I haven't been able to get a straight answer out of him. I decided first that he wasn't persuasive enough to stand and testify as a witness. That's why we called Miss Lotta Hart yesterday. As for who he is, we have absolutely no idea. Sounds suspicious. The DL6 incident. Detective Gumshoe, please help us. Huh? We need to know about the DL6 incident. That was when Edgeworth's father died. I can't help but think that it has something to do with this current case. To tell the truth, I don't know much about DL6 either. Sorry, I had a burp. So they just gonna drag this man as a witness without knowing who he is? Probably doesn't help that this man is definitely, like, having stuff in his head. That's the best way I can explain it. Mr. Edgeworth forbade us from reading the file. So, I'm afraid I can't show them to you either, pal. What? However, if you can convince me somehow that the DL6 incident is related to this case, well, I guess I'd consider opening the file up. Maybe the parrot? What's that, a parrot? The old man of the boat's rental shop's parrot. The parrot knew about that incident. That incident? DL6. What? That's not correct. Polly, have we forgotten anything? Have we forgotten something? Squawk? No, forget DL6. Squawk? Huh? I'm pretty sure that old man must have taught her that word. Yeah, but how would that old man know about the DL6 incident? Wait, what if that old man was connected to DL6? Nick, you think he might be? I getcha. Sounds like you need information on the DL6 incident. Though there is... Through there is the station's records room. I'll give you special permission to go in and find what you need. Alright, way to go, Detective Gumshoe. Oh no, that man is probably on the run now. Yeah, just already bolted the state. Okay, Nick, to the records room, since we're apparently in San Fran, Japan. I guess it's time we faced Edgeworth's past. Ooh. Records room! December 26th, Police Department Records Room. Wow! It's amazingly dusty. 10 years of files and 10 years of dust, I guess. Let's find that DL6 stuff. Quick! 15 years ago, both me and Edgeworth were 9 years old. I forget that they're only like 25. Yeah, I said San Fran, Japan, because it's like California. San Francisco's in California. You're almost through with 4th grade when you suddenly transferred. Because of DL6. Nick, I found out where the file is. Oh, thanks. Just let me know what you want to know about the DL6 incident. I'll go get the right file. The case summary. Well, first I have to get a handle on the main facts, like a summary. Right. Summary. Found it! Here you go. December 28th, 2001. That's exactly 15 years ago from the day after tomorrow. So it's 2016. So I was right. I was right last stream. It's 2016. So in 2 days, the case is closed. The incident took place in the elevator of the district courthouse. What? Is this the same district courthouse where we're holding the trial now? Looks like it. There was a large earthquake at 2 p.m. on that day. Part of the court building collapsed and all of the lights went out. Wow, that was some earthquake. At the time, 3 people were trapped in the elevator. Oh geez, 2016 is very in the future, wow, yeah. It took 5 hours for them to be rescued. 5 hours? That would be scary like that in the dark. Also, there was Edgeworth, a tiny fucking Edgeworth. There was a lack of oxygen in the elevators, and the survivors were unconscious. The survivors? One of the 3 in the elevator had been shot in the heart. That was Mr. Edgeworth's father, wasn't it? He said his father was shot before his very eyes. So Miles Edgeworth was one of the other passengers in that elevator. Tiny gay boy, yeah. Do you have data on the victim, Edgeworth's father? Yeah, hold on. Victim. Here, found it. Gregory Edgeworth, 35, defense attorney. If he were still alive, he'd be 50. He had lost that day's case in court and got in the elevator with his son, Miles. Miles? Miles Edgeworth, of course. So he was in the elevator with his father. From the angle of the bullet and other evidence, it could not have been a suicide. The murder weapon, a pistol, was found in the elevator. The pistol had been fired 2 times. Where have I heard that before? Huh. It sounds just like this current case. What's going on here? Got any data on the suspect in there? That would be the guy that my mom got arrested. Hold on, this is it. The man arrested as a suspect in DL6 was Yanni Yogi. That's interesting. He was a clerk in the court, apparently. So he must have been the 3rd person in the elevator. Well, then he had to have done it. But he was found innocent, thanks to his defense lawyer, Robert Hammond. Hammond, the victim in our case. Right. The suspect, Mr. Yogi, was oxygen deprived, so he had so much so he had brain damage. He lost all memory of being in the elevator. After he was declared innocent, he disappeared. Where could Yogi have gone to, I wonder? He may be closer than we think. Yeah, it's the guy. It's the boat rental shop, isn't it? That guy's Yanni Yogi, isn't he? I guess I know generally what happened in DL6 now. I still don't know what sort of impact the whole thing had on Edgeworth. Nick, are we going to take the whole file? There's too much. We'll never get it out. You're right. How about we just take what we think we'll need? Right. That's probably all we'll be able to find here. All that's left is a trial tomorrow. I wonder how Dad will do testifying in court. To be continued. Yes. I mean, that would make sense. Yeah, it makes sense for him to be Yanni Yogi. Like, with the fact that the parrot knows about, like, DL6 and the fact that it mentioned the brain damage. Oh my god, there he is, Von Karma. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ooh. Very well, apparently the prosecution is already ready. Who's the judge here anyways? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Very well, no opening statement, so...
Not so fast, Judge.
I don't remember the voice I did, it was like high-pitched.
I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking.
Right, of course.
A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now.
My karma's kinda, never mind. /J. Order! Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now?
Bah! Must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now.
Right.
I call my witness, my decisive witness to the stand.
It's that mysterious boat shop owner.
Witness, state your profession. I am the proprietor of the restaurant The Wet Noodle at Good Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yep, I was. Please testify.
Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this old guy is. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet.
Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah! I have predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate.
Yeah, right. The witness will state his name.
Well, I'm not really sure. Yep.
What do you mean?
My, memory. Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name.
He can't recall, you say?
Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify.
Very well. He really wants to end this in 3 minutes, yeah. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we? Witness? The night of the murder.
It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight, yep. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats, as usual. Then I heard a bang, yep. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window.
Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination.
There is nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict now.
Yes. Mr. Wright? What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin.
Ah!
Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma?
3 minutes just passed.
I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. The night of the murder. Man just had a heart attack. His fucking pacer went off the fritz. Night of the 24th, just after midnight. Right. Just after midnight, you say?
Yep, just around then.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure, yeah.
When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today.
I asked him, and he remembered. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it. Clearly I did, yep. You see, continue. I was in the restaurant where I ran boats as usual, then I heard a bang.
And where did the bang seem to come from?
From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Yep. Good, continue.
Was there someone in the boat?
It was pretty far out there, I couldn't see clearly. But I figured there was 2 men out there, yep.
But you couldn't see them clearly.
Yep, at the time, that is.
At the time? So you heard 2 gunshots total?
Yep.
That's what Lada said in her testimony yesterday. Who was the man? By your window?
Yep, by my window, right outside the window of my little shack.
And could you see the man's face?
Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me, so I saw him.
This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
I have a bad feeling about this. Right, he did see a man. Did he see Larry?
That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead.
Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad? God, that's so fucking awkward!
Dead certain, Keith.
My guess is it's Larry, because Larry said he was out on a boat.
He said, I can't believe he's dead, as he was walking by, too. Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy.
This sounds like decisive evidence, indeed. I see no room for doubt. Von Karma. He lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the court is glaring at us. I better act quick or this trial's going to be over. Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun.
Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun, and the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand?
Exactly.
That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his fingerprints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth.
And then put his... And then... So he removed his fingerprints and then held it with his other hand?
What? You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness's testimony is true.
The judge is lost in thought. What should I do? Raise an objection again. Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead. But his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie...
Mr. Wright, in a court of law, that evidence tells all. Apparently, if you've had to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony's a lie, show us proof.
Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I could do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please, can you hear me, sis? Please? We need your help. Nick needs you.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record.
Enough! The witness may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts.
What? No!
This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
What?
The court will surrender to the accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Wait!
Who was that just now?
Me!
Huh?
What? Larry! Larry!
What are you doing here?
Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it.
Remembered what?
The gunshot! I heard it too!
Order!
What is the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment.
One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot?
Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. But I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify.
Order, order! Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed.
Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse. Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse.
You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak.
Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned.
Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard.
What is this?
I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty.
Let's go!
Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now.
What?
The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned.
That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, right, Edgeworth, you're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there. Larry was at the lake that night? Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon in the air tank that night. Yeah. Oh no, is Von Karma gonna say something to Larry? I feel like I honestly don't know how those two would interact. I feel like Larry would be too stupid but also scared of Von Karma. Hey, Edgeworth.
Huh?
You say something, right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
What's that?
Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon? Oh.
When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. And I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. I see. Right. Yeah? This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. Then, that's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right? That's right, Nick! No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes, 15! Everything's on Larry now. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep this witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. That night I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something, I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in the rental shop dock. Then just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Larry. That was an unusually vague testimony, even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong, Nick? It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick. That's really all you had to say, buddy. Something wrong, Mr. Wright. There were so many things wrong, I don't even know where to begin. Huh. Well, okay, first of all, what time was it? Oh, it was after 11, when I went out in the boat. By that time, everyone had gone home for the night. So I waited until the coast was clear, so to speak. And why were you out on a boat at such a late hour? Looking for something. Yeah. Mr. Butts, what was it you were looking for?
What the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy.
That's surprisingly close to the truth in a sense.
This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with.
Around what time was that?
Well, let's see. I figure I was out searching it for about an hour.
I guess it was around 12, yeah. You're not sure?
Hey, don't give me that face! I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay?
People use watches these days, Larry. Where did the sound come from? Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. I looked around, you know. Did you look at the lake? Yeah, I looked. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake? Order, order! Well, Mr. Butts? Well, everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Oh, okay, no problem. That's but just the most important part of this case. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah? Huh. Well, Nick? It was a pretty wishy-washy testimony, wasn't it? I guess I should start working on the contradictions. Sorry. I wish I could be more helpful. I wish I could call out my sister. Tap present. Okay. So I quietly slip the boat back in the rental shop at the dock. Let's see, what else what all do we have? Just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot. Okay, yep. Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard one bang, you're sure? That's what I said! But Miss Lida Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please! Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butts. What? You only heard 1 gunshot, are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Eh? Not sure? How could you be not sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude, with my headphones. What? Order, and stop that booing. Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio with your headphones. Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness, nor a shoddy testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony? Continue. Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony. Bah! Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. What Larry heard. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to an All Request show on the radio, you see. I was listening to it real booming loud like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it, too. You were listening to your radio at a high volume. Yeah, what's the big problem? Can't a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Well, what did the DJ say? What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good can knowing what a radio DJ said do us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask, Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot?
Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard, but there is one gleaming ray of hope in there. There it is, I've got to press it until we get to the bottom of what happened. Booming loud like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. Are you sure? Yeah, of course I am! She had this real sexy voice. Maybe Von Karma was right. I'm not sure how that helped us at all. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard, but there is one gleaming ray of hope in there. Press it until we... Hold on. Do I have to maybe present the evidence? We're almost at the line! Okay, hold on. Let me save real quick. I'm fairly certain maybe... Tab. Sometime shot... This is taken automatically on 12:25 at 12:15. I think... Yeah. I'm wondering which piece of evidence. Maybe this one? Or this one? I think maybe this one. Yeah, no. They aren't exactly, yeah. It does... Okay, maybe try the other photo. This one. Yeah! Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Come on, let's say the line. Huh? What's with that face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better. No, don't scare that easy. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and... almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas! Let's go! There it is! Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes? But he should have heard that gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what the time was on the lake. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Miss Hart's camera. 12:25:015. 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas! I was really wondering how that line was gonna come into play. Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. What?
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight?
Larry's right. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard the gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. Second photo! Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m.
Oh? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture.
Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It's why this photograph exists at all.
What do you mean?
Your Honor,
This photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha! Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them. Why would this be?
Don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond to loud noises.
Yes?
There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why, the witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera. Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear!
Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Can I? Oh, that's the last save slot. Okay, I will have to start saving over old ones. Please show the court evidence if you have any. Is it the camera itself, maybe? I'm guessing it's either this or the... map, because if... because, like, if he's at the boat rental shop... I'm gonna go with the camera. Mr. Wright, is that a smirk I see? Your Honor, sorry, I wasn't really sure about the evidence. Don't show us evidence you aren't confident in, Mr. Wright. Oh, okay. To prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot, please show the court evidence if you have any. Is it the fact that the gun was fired 3 times? Maybe. This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Order! That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake.
Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why?
Uh-oh, I'd better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. What's wrong, Nick? I have it. Huh? I remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case. Did they now? What do you mean? Maya? Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Right, I mean, is this safe? Safe. We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick? Your Honor! Yes, Mr. Wright. The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. What do you mean, Mr. Wright?
Tisk tisk tisk. So you finally realize the truth. There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself.
Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting.
Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness's photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on the boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party is to be the other man on the boat.
I admit it's hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamps on the photo says 15...
But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot in the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are.
The murderer and Hammond. Edgeworth and Hammond. Edgeworth and the murderer.
Oh boy. Ahem.
Okay. Gonna start going over. The murderer and Hammond? It was the murderer and Robert Hammond.
What are you saying? That contradicts what you just told the court.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You said they've been killed 25 minutes before this gunshot.
Yes, that's right. Also, might I mention, the defendant, Mr. Edgeworth, has admitted to being on the boat.
Right, Your Honor. Crash and burn.
Mr. Wright, your client has already been declared guilty once. I'm going to have to penalize you for this foolishness.
Ah, my balls!
It's probably Edgeworth and the murderer, yeah. Yeah. Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this.
Ludicrous.
Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer, then.
That murderer's name, right, it's... I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name.
You don't know?
Bah! Again, you waste my time.
I don't know because he never told us.
The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man.
At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats in the lake then.
Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on a boat?
What? Well then, where did the murder take place?
Show the judge where the murder really took place. Inside the boat shop. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have any proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime?
Recall Larry's testimony, if you will.
That night, he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something.
He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor, even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright! What happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning.
Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out.
That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake.
Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright?
The boat shop caretaker. Of course it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice, both missed Edgeworth on purpose.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone?
Details.
Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice.
To create a witness. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor.
Create a witness?
The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard that shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol on the boat behind him.
I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had shot the other.
The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake.
Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said?
Yes.
Well, why did you go to the lake that night?
What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me.
Something important?
I'm sorry, I can't say what it was.
Your Honor, sir.
Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet.
The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either.
What?
What should I do?
Find him quickly. We cannot allow him to get away.
Ooh.
Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared.
A search warrant has already been issued.
It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is.
You want him, Judge? I'm joking.
Very well, court is adjourned.
Ooh. Defendant lobby number 2. Yay, Nick! You did it! Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under that guilty verdict. Bonks you, yeah. And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time. I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth,
Did you say something?
don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax.
I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. There's something that's been troubling me for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you.
Edgeworth?
No, there's so little time left. I want to tell you to get it off my chest, but... I can't make up my mind.
What is this about, Edgeworth?
It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed.
A crime you committed? Yeah, you...
A memory of a murder.
Excuse me? Hello? Hello?
December 27th, 2:11 p.m., Wright & Co. Law Offices. What was Mr. Edgeworth talking about?
Yes, we just saw this. Memory of a crime that I committed. Memory of a murder.
Do you really think Mr. Edgeworth killed? I don't believe it. Not Edgeworth. Some painful memory has been troubling him recently, but he'd never take someone's life. Never. Nick.
Yo, how's everyone doing? What do you think of my performance today? I am swooning in the aisles, huh, Maya?
Swooning? Me? Oh, yes, I do remember feeling faint.
Right on. Tell me the truth. It was like love at first sight, right? Right, Nick?
Huh? Me? Well, maybe my heart skipped a beat or two. I think you can do better than that.
Come on! I saved Edgeworth in there, dude. Edgy! You guys should be bowing before me, yeah? Bow before your hero.
Hi, Larry. Today's trial. Larry, you really helped out in the trial today. You did! If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would have been found guilty. But seriously, Nick, that boat shop caretaker guy's pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. Way to spoil the mood, Larry.
Hey, I'm just a guy sitting in the audience, you know?
But from where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. I mean, can you really know that he's telling the truth about that night? Nick? I don't know, but what I do know is I'm going to believe in you two until the end.
Us two?
Edgeworth and who else? You mean me, right?
Nah, he means me, right, Nick?
Yeah, you, Larry. Not me.
But why you, Larry? Huh? Actually, yeah, why me, Nick? Enough with the silent treatment.
Nick, why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I mean, he's changed recently, true. But when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? You didn't know him back then. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Wait, was that when you two were classmates? Yes, I'm in grade school. They saved me, Miles and Larry. They saved me, and I'll never forget it. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know?
What? Hey, Larry, what's he talking about? Huh? Sorry, I kinda forgot.
Okay, Nick, out with it. I'm going to hear this story today, and that's final. Okay. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. It was the very end of 3rd grade. I was on trial, a class trial. A class trial?
Oh my god, no, not like Danganronpa.
You remember, Larry. Spring, end of 3rd grade. A kid in our class got his lunch money stolen. Lunch money? Our school was really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. Huh, I see. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared, with $38 still inside.
Oh yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that.
I can see why you'd forget, though. You were out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I'd skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class. So they thought you did it? Yeah, the kids in class said I should be put on trial. Trial? So the next day we held a classroom trial with me as the defendant. Oh my god, Tiny Did Tiny Phoenix? With the fucking hair spikes. I didn't do it. Guilty, he did it. Guilty thief. Give the money back. You're such a meanie. No one plays with them. Just admit you did. You can't hide the truth. Tell us the truth. We're not gonna play with you anymore. Yeah, you should be allowed to relay around the library. Give me back my 50 cents I loaned you. God, that was a lot of text. Now, Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Go over and apologize, Phoenix.
Why is that shirt?
I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad, I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went to where the boy whose money had been stolen was sitting. That's when it happened. Objection. Do you think he's born with it? Yeah, I think he was born with that haircut. He shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in a trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed. Amateurs. Miles.
There he is!
It wasn't you who stole my money, was it? No? Then you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one has any proof. That is why, Your Honor, this boy's innocent. But Miles, it was your money that was stolen. Yeah, he did it. He's the one. We do need proof. Why don't you all just shut up? This is always how it is. Everybody ganging up and picking up on one person. Just think how he feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. Very well. I will replace the money myself. This class trial is over. That's how it happened. After that, the three of us were the best of friends. Wow, I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot. That's when I learned what it meant to be alone. Totally alone, without a friend in the world. You did a good thing, Larry. Yeah, well, I was just lucky that I took the day off from school. If I'd been there, they would have thought I'd done it. So I took it kind of personally, see? When something smells, it's usually the butts. Yeah, so who did steal the money anyways? Anyway, Edgeworth and I talked after that class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes would shine when he talked about his father. I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my father. A famous defense attorney. Now he's a prosecution. You know that class trial is kind of based on a real-life event that the writer experienced. I mean, honestly, I can completely understand that. I can kind of understand that. Because, I wouldn't say it's the same thing. I certainly didn't have the class trial thing. But definitely the feeling of, like, being accused of being a thief and stuff, I've definitely had that happen to me when I was in elementary school. And it sucks. I cried in class, and then the teacher told me to go outside. Ugh. Stretching. Then a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DL6 incident. Right, I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. What the fuck had happened to you two? Again, not the trial thing, but the whole accusation of being a thief. It was, maybe you're the writer all along. Yeah. I mean, it was just like I was in, like, 5th grade. And, there was, like, we were, like, doing some coloring thing. I think, actually, it happened in February. It actually happened in February. Because I remember, because we were all doing this thing where we were coloring a picture for a, like... Or maybe it wasn't February. Maybe it was January. Yeah, I think I don't know, actually. It could be either or. Because what happened is we were doing this, like... coloring these, like, pictures for a, like, collage about, Martin Luther King Jr. So it could be January for his birthday, because I believe Martin Luther King Jr.'s days, I can't remember off the top of my head, I'm bad with dates. But it could also be February, because Black History Month. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways. And so we were doing this coloring project, and I think the teacher was talking to some kid that was, like, I don't know, I don't know, the teacher was talking to some kids. So we're sitting here, we're doing the coloring, and someone's, like, crayon disappears. That's, like, kind of near me, and like, I had a crayon, but it wasn't the one, I don't entirely remember. I had a crayon, but I don't think it was the one that they had. It was just showed up on my desk, and I was like, oh, well, I need this, I need a crayon, so, because I couldn't get any other crayons. And there was just suddenly a crayon on my desk that someone set there. Anyways, yeah. And then I was accused of a thief, and then I started crying in class because everyone was calling me a thief. And that sucks. Yeah, it was over a fucking crayon. It wasn't even like it was her own. It wasn't even... I don't even know actually who it was. I think it was this one girl, but I don't know. It was like... it wasn't even their crayons. It was a fucking crayon from the school. It was several years later when I heard Edgeworth's name again. There was an article about him in the newspaper. The headline was something like, "Dark Suspicions of a Demon Attorney. Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts." The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. But why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all. That's what I thought too. I tried to get in touch with him, I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I couldn't just drop it though. I wanted to meet him, to learn why he had become who he became. That's when I decided. Wait, you don't mean... That's why? That's why you became a defense attorney? To meet Edgeworth? If I was a defense attorney, I knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. Why do teachers... Wait, yeah, it was a 5 yen fucking coin! Bro, why do teachers do that? Like, damn, maybe that kid put the crayon there. I don't know. Yeah, I think, honestly, it's been like, what? I don't know how many years. I think I was framed. Oh my god, it's probably been over a decade. 5th grade, I would have been, let's see, 14 in freshman year. So then it was 13, 12, 11. I was 10. I was 10 years old. It's been over a decade. Oh my god. Edgeworth believed in me, and I believe in him. He's in pain, and no one's on his side. I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help him. Whoa, Nick. So is that why you helped me out for free? Yes. I helped you because I believed in you. Except I don't remember saying I'd do it for free. Aw, Nick! Nick! We have to save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Right. Very well, maybe. First, there's that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for who. I guess I can clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Okay, let's go. Alright, I think the best thing to do would be to... Also, bro, imagine going through law school just to see this one guy. Phoenix is totally gay for Edgeworth. It's literally the fucking image that I was talking about the other stream, about the fucking chasing a boy. Went to law school to chase a boy. Succeeded. Hey, pal! Long time no see. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. Close one today, eh? I got so worked up I snapped my tie in half. Sorry about that. No problem, pal. Thanks to you, we now know who really did it. You mean the boat shop caretaker? Look, I'll make you a promise. I'll have that scoundrel in my custody by trial time tomorrow. Come what may. Ooh, had a burp there. It's my duty to you as a police officer. Now I'm off to catch me a criminal. Detective Gumshoe sure is active today.
Oh, one other thing.
Eek!
No one can go into the woods today.
The woods? Rolado was camping.
The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad knowing he'd go in for a while.
What if we go in anyway? I guess Lada's in a lot of trouble.
Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
He's got the same tie as the one he snaps. Yeah, he's just got like 12 of the same tie. Yeah, I think he has like probably like 12 to 7. Huh? The steel eyesore is missing. Eyesore? Looks like the hot dog stand is close too. I guess Larry's too busy worrying about Mr. Edgeworth to show up for work. What's the sign? Guess Larry has today off. He was pretty happy about saving Mr. Edgeworth. True, we owe him big. Let's go talk to Polly. That old caretaker got away. Yep. I never imagined he might be the real murderer.
Ahem.
I'd note that clearing of the throat anywhere.
Ha! Hello! What might you be doing here? Out for a walk, hmm? Ah, the days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon. You see...
Mr. Crossberg! This is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow.
That is true, yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right?
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Well, I'm not sure.
If you find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance.
Thanks, bye. What do you think Mr. Crossberg was doing here anyway? Who knows? Can we go inside?
He left the parrot! Yes!
Nobody's home.
Hello, squawk!
Hey, it's Polly! Wonder where your owner's gone, Polly.
Hello, squawk!
I can't believe he'd run off and leave his poor parrot to fend for herself.
Hello, squawk!
Hey. Can you tell us some information? Maybe I should take care of Polly, Nick. Probably shouldn't just kidnap her. Police know about her anyway. I'm sure they'll do something. Well, okay. Sorry, Polly. He says I can't take you. Right now the bird's going to hate me. It doesn't look like he used this kitchen much. You're right. I guess the whole pasta restaurant thing was a lie. What, you thought he was telling the truth? Everything's cold. Looks like he didn't turn his heater on. I guess he hasn't been back here since the trial. That fishing pool looks expensive. Maybe we should bring it to Detective Gumshoe. Don't you think the caretaker would mind? Well, we can just leave him the metal detector in exchange. Maybe we'd better not. Say, Nick. Don't people usually put pictures of fish up on the wall to boast about them? Yeah, I guess so. You mean pictures of the fish they caught, right? Right, but don't all the fish on the wall here look really puny to you? Well, you know what they say. We should have seen the one that got away. Except the one that got away from us was the caretaker, and we did see him. Why do I feel like we're having two different conversations here? That reminds me, Nick. Polly here knows the number to the safe, right? Yeah, that's right. Polly, what's the number to the safe?
1228, squawk!
Let's open it, Nick, come on. I'm sure there isn't any money in there. Aw, but hey! He keeps it locked, right? So there must be something of value in there. I'm not so sure. Okay, Nick, let's see what's in there. Guess there might be a clue or two. The only thing in here is a letter. A letter? Aw, boring. There's no name or signature on this thing. It's handwritten in very precise, clear letters. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Edgeworth! Nick! Why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be on here? How should I know? I'm going to read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says this is your last chance. Now is the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. The rest of the letter goes on to describe the murder plot in detail. How to kill Robert Hammond and frame Edgeworth. Calling Edgeworth out to the lake, getting on the boat, firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in court. It's all here in perfect detail. What do you think it means, Nick? I don't know, but it looks like these are instructions for that caretaker. When he killed Robert Hammond and called out Edgeworth, he was following instructions. But who could have written that letter? And what does it mean to get revenge on Miles Edgeworth? Look, I don't know, okay? But one thing's for certain. This letter is an amazing clue. A letter from the safe added to the court record. There's nothing left in the safe. I wonder why the caretaker didn't take the letter with him. He left in a hurry, right? I don't think he even came back here after the trial. Ah! What's wrong? Huh? Oh, never mind. What? Tell me. Just when I saw the TV, I remembered. They're showing a Pink Princess special this week. Oh. See, that's what I didn't want to tell you. Well, bye. Move. Gourd Lake Public Beach. Move. Entrance. Hey, Mr. Grosberg. Oh. Go to there first, maybe. 1 day left, Nick. Yeah, I know. Well, no time to waste. Let's get going. I mean, this is just usual, probably. Hey. Grosberg Law Offices. He's out again. When does he work anyway? No, don't be harsh. Guess we'll have to come back later. You look as grim as always. Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about the class trial. Class trial? What do you mean? You don't remember? No, I don't. The lunch money was stolen, wasn't it, in 3rd grade? Lunch money? Oh, right. Yes, I seem to remember something like that. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers. Well, it's probably only really mattered to me anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you'd do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple, to a fault, even. Well, maybe yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Hey, Edgeworth, why did you become a prosecutor anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me, and you want me to defend criminals? I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person. One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes, that man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter any way you look at it. Yet, he was found innocent. A defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Robert Hammond. And that day 15 years ago, the three of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I lost all memory of the murder. Lost your memory? Even now, I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had been not sound of mind due to the oxygen deprivation. Yogi was released due to the lack of evidence. Innocent. There's something I wanted to say, but I've already forgotten it. Oh, yeah. So if we go off of the assumption that the guy, the caretaker, the boat caretaker, is Yanni Yogi. If he's Yanni Yogi, the letter stated to get revenge on the 2 men who ruined. Yeah, exactly. Like, why did he kill Hammond? If Yanni Yogi is the caretaker and he murdered Robert Hammond, and it said to get revenge on the 2 men that ruined your life, how did Robert Hammond ruin his life? Robert Hammond proved him innocent, so if anything, he saved his life. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. Prosecutor Von Karma. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher and a man who deserves respect. I learned everything I know of courtroom techniques from him. So he's like my sister was to you, Nick. He is a perfectionist in all things. In court and his personal life, he's obsessed with doing everything perfectly. Perfectly, huh? In all of the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved, and not one suspect was declared innocent, ever. But that's... I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. All Von Karma does is his job to find the suspect guilty, perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. Edgeworth, if what you're saying is true, you're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. He's right! Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth. That's a strange situation in which I find myself, I'll admit. No kidding. Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gotten back yet. Gumshoe, he won't be coming back today. Oh, really? Ooh, hiccup. He said there was some guy he had to arrest by tomorrow, the boat shop caretaker. He shouted something about catching him if it's the last thing I do, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. Is Frostberg back yet? Nope. Let's present him with the letter. Hey, oh, I can't. Oh, right, that's how I do. My brain shut down for a second, I guess. Edgeworth, see this letter? This came out of the safe in the shack where that boat rental caretaker lives. I see. Revenge on me? Who is that old guy anyway? I don't know. Could he be an innocent defendant who got declared guilty or something? Nice, right? But I don't remember that, old man. Not at all. So, he was following this letter then. Which means there was someone else behind it. Now's the time to get revenge on the two men who ruined your life. Two men, meaning myself and Robert Hammond. It also says this is your last chance. Last chance? Wait, maybe he's talking about the statute of limitations on the DL6 incident. Wait, that old man. What is it? Do you know who he is? Yogi. Could he be Yogi? Yogi? The suspect of the DL6 incident, the one who was found innocent. Yanni Yogi was a court bailiff at the time. He just happened to be in that elevator together 15 years ago. The quake was incredibly strong. Before I knew it, everything was dark. We were there for so long it felt like forever. The air thinned and the darkness closed in on us in that little box. We became unsettled. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet! I said quiet! You're not making this any easier! I want to get out! Help! Get us out! Don't shout! You'll just use up more oxygen! That's all I remember. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling. In court, Yanni Yogi's mental condition was called into question. They claimed the oxygen deprivation and stress had caused temporary insanity. In the end, the claim passed the court and Yogi was found innocent. Huh, but isn't that strange? This letter tells him to get revenge on Edgeworth. Why would he want to take revenge on you? Right. Yeah? There's something that's been troubling me these last few days. I didn't know whether or not I should tell you. You mean the nightmare? It's a nightmare I've had. memory of a crime that I committed. A crime you committed? A memory of a murder. I think the time has come to tell all. For the last 15 years, I've had the same dream almost every night. I wake up in a fearful sweat every time. What kind of dream? It's a dream about my father's killing in the dark.
Help, I can't breathe. Quiet, I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. I wanna get out. Help, get us out. Don't shout, you'll just use up more oxygen. I can't breathe. You're using up my air. What? Stop breathing my air, I'll stop you. What are you? Stop breathing my air! No, Father. He's attacking Father. Then I see the pistol lying by my feet. I don't know if it was evidence from that day in court of the bailiffs. In a daze, I pick up the pistol. Get away! Get away from my father! Ah!
Oh. And with that scream, I wake. It's a bone-chilling scream. A scream that has rung in my ears for the past 15 years. But, that's just a dream, right? Right? That thought is the only thing that has kept me sane for the last 15 years. But what if I'm wrong? What if it's real? They say that sometimes people shut out memories in self-defense. Maybe it was I who killed my father.
What?
If you think about that, about it that way, this letter makes sense. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Think about it. Yogi was really innocent. That's why he wanted revenge against me. Wait, Edgeworth, you mean... It was me. I was the true criminal of DL6. I shot my father. This is bad.
What are we going to do, Nick? What can we do?
I don't know. I don't think there's anything we can do, like it or not. If there's someone else who knows a lot about the DL6 incident, maybe.
There is, Nick! There is someone else who knows about DL6. There is. Oof. That's the wrong... Nope, I did not mean to go there. There. So he accidentally killed his dad. Oof. Mr. Grossberg. Hello there. What's wrong? You look troubled. No kidding, I can't believe you're not. My. Just calm down and tell me what happened, It's Mr. Edgeworth. He...
I see. So Edgeworth dreamt he shot his own father.
It's only a dream, only a dream.
I wonder.
What?
If that's the case, then why do you two look so troubled,
Well...
Also, consider this. Yogi quite certainly holds a deep grudge against Miles Edgeworth, so deep he'd want to frame him for murder. This leads me to surmise that Mr. Edgeworth's dream was not a dream, it was real. As you imagined. Miles Edgeworth threw the pistol to save his father. The pistol fired, and the deed was done.
No, I don't believe it.
Yogi was suspected of murder, and his career as a bailiff, whoopsies. Thus he sought revenge on Miles Edgeworth. This was his last chance, of course, with the statute of limitations so close.
Gregory Edgeworth. What do you know about Edgeworth's father?
He was a defense attorney without peer. It sounds trite, but it's true. Well, he may have had one peer, now that I think about it. Your mentor, Mia Fey. My sister? Gregory Edgeworth was very disapproving of Mr. Von Karma's techniques.
That's no surprise.
Von Karma is an extreme man. Forged testimonies and evidence are nothing to him. The result, he has a perfect win record in court. To beat him, Gregory Edgeworth tried to call attention to his methods. And? He lost. He died in despair, as it were. I see. When Gregory Edgeworth was killed, the police called on a spirit medium. That was your mother, Misty Fey.
I am Gregory Edgeworth. I have been killed. The one who shot me was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi.
Yet Yogi was found innocent. That's when my mother left us. Everyone called her a fraud. That's right, everyone thought she was, you see. Yet, now that I think about it, it seems the one who lied was Gregory Edgeworth's ghost. Gregory Edgeworth must have known who shot him. I don't believe it. So you're saying he falsified his testimony? That Edgeworth's dad lied to protect his son? Look at Yogi was about to kill the dad anyway by maybe choking himself. Yeah! It seemed very likely that Yogi was about to, like, beat the shit out of him. It's only a possibility, mind you. But a possibility nonetheless. I have a question. Do you have any idea about this? Oh, so this is the letter. It does seem that Yogi was following this letter when he killed Hammond. But why kill Robert Hammond? Hammond was a skilled defense attorney, but he defended clients not for their sake, but for his own. Huh? His own sake? He never trusted his clients that one. The one thing he trusted was his own ability. But he got his client found innocent, so why should it matter? Actually, my dear, it's quite different. He won that innocent verdict for no one but himself. Yogi was a free man, but socially he was ruined. Huh? You'll understand soon enough. Wait. What is it? This letter. I've seen this handwriting somewhere before, a long time ago. Whose handwriting was this? Do you have any idea who wrote this? Am I going to be penalized? Maybe it was Yanni Yogi? Yanni Yogi? You claim he wrote himself this letter, then followed his own instructions. Yeah, I guess that could be. Perhaps you think it's a split personality? I think that's definitely a possibility, yes. No, I think not. I do not think this Yogi. There's no way I would recognize this handwriting. Oh, right. Yes, right, I'll ask you again. Do you have any idea who wrote this? Karma? Could it be Von Karma? Von Karma? Why would he have something to do with this? Well, I'm not sure. Von Karma, Von Karma. But wait, you're right, my boy! This is Von Karma's handwriting, I'm sure of it! Really? I used to see it on all the time on court reports. What? But that means that the one who told Mr. Yogi to kill was... Correct, Fred Von Karma himself. What does this mean, then? Why would Von Karma want to frame Edgeworth? If it truly was Von Karma who wrote this letter, then he would know the truth. He would know that Miles Edgeworth had accidentally killed his own father. He'll say as much tomorrow in court, I should think. He'll press the point until the court finds Miles Edgeworth guilty. Oh no. I mean, can he really be convicted of that? Like, it was clearly an accident, and he was like 10. But how could Von Karma know about Mr. Edgeworth's past like that? Even Mr. Edgeworth thought it was just a nightmare. That I do not know. Yet I do know that Von Karma is both persistent and a perfectionist. He may be seeking to satisfy a grudge against Gregory Edgeworth by hurting his son. What do you mean? It was 15 years ago. Von Karma met Gregory Edgeworth in court, and Von Karma did win. But he didn't make it through the trial unscarred. What happened in the trial between Edgeworth's dad and Von Karma? Von Karma got the guilty verdict he wanted. He won the trial. But Gregory Edgeworth accused Von Karma of faulty evidence. And though he lost the trial, Mr. Edgeworth's accusation stood. Faulty evidence? It was the only penalty Von Karma has ever received in his career as a prosecutor. Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. A vacation? Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. Really? He doesn't take vacations? Like, go to the sea or to the mountains? Don't tell me he's never been to Europe! You have strange ideas about vacations, Maya. In any case, that was the only time he took a vacation from work. I believe the penalty upset him quite a lot. Odd, if he wanted to keep a perfect record so badly. Why would he take such a long vacation? What do we do, Nick? When Crime is going to bring up Deal 6, you can bet on it. What if Mr. Edgeworth pleads guilty to Deal 6? I won't let him. Yes, Mr. Wright. I hate to say this, but even accidental murder is murder, you know. That's like manslaughter. That's not murder. That's manslaughter, isn't it? I know that. I just believe in Edgeworth's innocence. I can't believe he'd kill someone. But Nick, Mr. Edgeworth admits it himself. His father must have lied to protect him from beyond the grave. I don't care. I know he's not guilty. Mr. Wright, if you say so, I suppose I should go check again. The police files might hold something of interest. Mr. Grosper, thank you. I can't promise anything. In fact, I think the chances of finding something are slim. I understand. The police materials, Alright, I think that's where I'm gonna call it here. I think I'm gonna call it here. So, that's the end of stream. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to the stream. And I guess next time we'll probably finish this case, I think. Maybe? Hopefully? Anyways, so yeah, thanks for coming to my stream, and have a good.